So, how was your weekend?
Went quite well. How'd yours go?
Not bad. Did a lot of sleeping.
Really? Sleeping? Does that kind of explain the hair?
Good evening. This is 2010 TV, and I'm your anchor, Pete.
And I'm your co-anchor, Squirrel.
Tonight, we'll be doing a very special report on gender diverse people with Victoria.
Now, we should cut to Victoria, right?
Yes.
Alright. Cutting to you, Victoria. Go that way.
Thanks, Pete and Squirrel. I'm down here in Newtown to talk with some young people about gender identity. What can you tell us about your gender identity?
I go by male pronouns, I identify as male. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very nice. What can you tell us about your gender identity?
I identify as male, basically a trans guy. I was, considered female at birth, but I've always felt like a guy since I was very little, and, that's how I feel, and I guess people find that hard when what the outside shows isn't necessarily what they expect for a young guy.
I am a femi-trans guy, and I identify as asexual panromantic.
My gender identity is sort of like a transgendered person, and another thing that I like to sort of detail about being trans is it does not determine your sexuality though. It does not determine who you like, which is a common misconception among the population that, oh, you're a trans woman, it must mean you like men.
When I look at my friends around me, there wasn't any support system, so I didn't know what transgender mean. And so it was only when I came here, to spend a few years, and get to know like a lot more. And like when I actually knew about transgender, I was like, damn, this is me. And I felt liberated.
Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Victoria. And now for a word from our sponsors.
Let's go to a break.
What were you saying before about my hair?
Well, you kind of had it coming.
What do you mean?
I mean that you haven't used gel in a while?
And back to Victoria.
Thanks, Pete and Squirrel. And now part 2 of my investigative report. When someone has respected your gender identity and gender pronouns, what does that look like?
Oh, it's just them calling me by my preferred name and just treating me like, treating me as a boy, and that's puts a lot of confidence, I guess, and generally makes my day feel a lot better.
Basically, when someone just tries to treat me like a human being and be respectful of whether it's calling me Sean or using the right pronouns or even just being supportive and trying their best. And it makes me feel happy inside that, people are trying and they care about me.
And what can people do to help you feel supported at school or in other services?
Speaking about it in schools is really important so that kids have the resources and they can have someone to go to if they're questioning their identity.
Give them options, I guess, yeah. And like, just tell them that it's okay, we support you no matter who you are, because they're just being honest to themselves.
They can provide sort of support and reassurance that they can try to understand and respect your identity and just support you along the way as you try to just live as who you really are, how you feel.
Thank you, Zeke. And that's all from me, Pete and Squirrel. It really gives you something to think about, doesn't it? Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Victoria, for that fascinating report on gender diversity. Join us next week when
We have a fascinating report on gerbils that dance. What do you guys think? You wanna watch it?
Sounds exciting. This has been 2010 TV. I'm your anchorman, Pete.
And I'm your co-anchor, Mr. Squirrel.
Thanks for joining us.